epilepsy surgery, which is really the follow-up of the E-pilepsy pilot network. I will probably tackle those core issues. There were more work packages in the initial pilot network, but now some of them became full work package, so not under the umbrella of E-pilepsy within EpiCARE. And that's the case of neuroimaging, that's the case of neuropsychology. And that's why at the moment VPA is primarily concerned with those elements, the E-database, which is the database for epilepsy surgery case, the IT platform, which can support a number of activities related to neuroimaging or electrophysiology, the E-CARE Epilepsy Surgery Conference, and then I will tell you a little about opportunities within the Human Brain Project. So, the E-database has been developed during the E-Epilepsy project. It continued. It has been moved to REDCap, as you know, so we're not going to enter that debate again, but it just to make it clear that the REDCap is definitely today the ECRF the most widely used in the world. And you can see the number. And there is not a single ECRF system that can compare to this. It's free. It has been initially funded by the NIH, and it is meant to be open access, open source, and that's why it has been disseminated so widely. You can use it either centrally or you can use it locally without sharing the data, and I think that's a great plus for those who would like to participate but not send the data permanently to a central server and wait until they feel it's appropriate to share part of their data. You can customize it quite easily, you only let them want to do that. So I think it really has a lot of advantage. And this is where you can see the upgrade of all those numbers that are quite impressive on the REDCap website. At the last time we evaluate how many E-epilepsy surgery centers were willing to participate to the E-database, including the historical E-epilepsy partners, we had about 50 centers who declared they were interested. 24 were already REDCap users. That means that they were looking for installing a REDCap server in their hospital or to use one that already existed. And then a number of centers could not easily install REDCap or use it at their hospital. Some, just because the hospital refused to install REDCap for some reason. And then they decided that we'll use a central server that we have installed in Lausanne. At the moment, there are not that many patients registered in this E-database, and that's definitely something I think we should try to boost in the future. Actually, we can only see what's in the central server. We have no idea what happened in the local server because it's precisely for this reason that they are local, so that the data are not shared. So only the local people can know how many cases they have placed on their local server. In the central server, we have several hundred patients, and it remains minimal, but we hope to progress on this. One way to progress on this is that now we have one person, an epileptologist that was trained in Geneva, and that is not working on this project one day a week in our department, Francesca Pito. She will get in touch with you if she did not do it yet. And we also hope to get soon some financial support from EpiCARE, and that is what is necessary to really boost this E-database project. The IT platform, so the IT platforms aims at really allowing to be able to share a place where we can upload data and perform post-processing with different objectives. It is relatively well secured, high safety standard. that allow to create the so-called VPN, so that every center want to use it have a single entry point with his own password that he need to change every 6 months actually to use it, and nobody else can have access to the data he's uploading on this IP platform. Again, the last time we checked on who had a request for VPN and has his VPN activated by our IT department, those were the different centers that were listed. Here again we have a deliverable for the first year of EpiCARE, which was primarily about the upgrade of the platform. So we have a number of software, and what you see in bold is what's new. So what's new is that Curie has been upgraded from version 7 to version 8, which will be the version that will hopefully incorporate the VBM that the case presented to you, and that is being developed as part of the agreement we had with Compumetics during the pilot network. We have had the viewer of Nicolet because until now we finally only have Micromed system to read EEG or intracranial EEG. And if any one of you want to place other viewer that they are using in their center, they are more than welcome. On the Linux part of the server, where we have those different software, including, of course, SPN, and I shall remember you that we've also installed a control database of about 35 normal controls with FDG PET that can be used to perform SPN analysis if you wish for your patient. We have now installed a Brainstorm, which is an additional post-processing tool, and we are discussing of installing the virtual brain that has been developed by Diplogius. Here again, we have someone that some of you know, Carolina, who is an expert in neuroimaging in epilepsy, and she's the one taking care of the IT platform on a daily basis. E-Care conferences, they have continued after the end of the E-Epilepsy pilot project on a monthly basis. They are still being primarily coordinated by Stefano Franchon. Now Judith has created this nice Google document that is being circulated, and where we make sure that we always have a coordinator when Stefano Franchon is not available. At the moment, either myself or Helen will replace him. But we would like soon to declare official co-chair for each of the conference, and this is where we can also or indicate the cases that will be discussed to make sure there will be enough rooms at each conference. At the moment, it's still being run monthly. I don't think there is a need to go to a bi-monthly presentation so far, because the number of cases are not that frequent. But of course, if this becomes to be the case in the near future, this will be possible. Let me just open the second presentation. And let me tell you a few words about the Human Brain Project. So the Human Brain Project was founded in 2013 for 10 years. It has been claimed to be a 1 billion project, but in fact it's only $500 million from the European Commission. The other $500 million is supposed to be brought through partly in-kind contribution by the participating institution. Still, it makes a lot of money. It includes 12 sub-projects, a number of objectives. I don't have the time to detail them, but you can see the different main topics that are covered. And it primarily aims at building platform, again, open source and open access for the data that are inside this platform. That's a primary rule. And this platform shall represent a sustained infrastructure that should hopefully accelerate brain research in Europe. Among those platforms, there is one which is more medically oriented, and this is a so-called medical informatic platform. The medical informatic platform primarily aims at putting together a very large volume of data that are being captured during clinical activity. It can also include data that are captured through research protocol, more structured, and it combined both. And the analysis to be performed are so-called federated, and you will understand what it means in a second. And it hopes that this will allow to look eventually at really very, very large volume of data that are actually not available in current research project, even the very large initiative where you might have sometimes 20,000, 30,000 cases. These are for genomic or for neuroimaging research. So what is unique with the medical informatics platform, and I think you will be sensitive to this, is that the main point is to never get the data leaving the hospital. They are never centralized. That is really the bottom line. They are never centralized. And the whole specificity of the IT tool is that it is able to perform whatever kind of analysis, including the complex machine learning, deep learning, by getting access to the different nodes, what we call the MIP local. So it's a platform installed like a local webcam within the intranet of the hospital. And the algorithm somehow is able, through mechanisms that are too complex and too virtual for me, but I understand the algorithm is somehow going at the same time in a different database rather than the different data going to the central server to be analyzed with the algorithm. Eventually, this medical informatics platform, which is built with a local platform in each participating hospital, plus the central node that is just coordinating the analysis that can be made, will be integrated in the so-called HVP joint platform, where all the other platforms will be together. And that shall allow to make some connection between the platform, which at the moment is incorporating all the data on the human brain to create a super atlas that will integrate any type of information from molecular to histology to genomic, or the brain simulation platform, or the neuro-robotic platform, which all have their own specificity. And eventually, we can hope that this interaction can allow to make more elaborated and sophisticated projects. So this is how it works basically. You have different hospitals, and each hospital has its own MIP, and this MIP has primarily two main components. One which is called the data factory, and the data factory include a number of processes that pseudo-anonymize the data at the moment. In the near future, there will be another step that will completely anonymize the data. But for the moment, it's pseudo-anonymized, preparing data like neuroimaging data, putting them in a specific format according to specific ontologies, and then in this hospital, you can use the algorithm factory. That is, you can yourself take advantage of the machine learning, deep learning algorithm on your data without sharing them with anyone. And then, for those who want to go to that extra step, you can connect your MIP to the central node. And from that central node, authorized people can launch federated analysis where they never see the data really, because not only you don't have to export them and centralize them, but from the central node, you're not supposed to be able to look at the data as you will do locally, where you can see like an Excel file with a different color and line, your patient, their different characteristics. You cannot do that from the central node. You can only launch analysis, some of which will be descriptive, other will be analytic, statistical, but you never see a single individual. And that's, of course, for protecting data privacy issues. So this is just an illustration of the great interface. Now, the Human Brain Project is full of fantasy, really. I think it's an interesting project, but when you read the initial objective, it's a little bit science fiction. And this applies also to the MIP. So with the MIP, they showed they will integrate all those data. And people who designed the MIP really thought that today in our hospital, we have a lot of data being captured on a daily basis on functional connectivity of the brain, that we have full exome being done on routine in most of our patients, things like that. In our process is not the case. So at the moment, the data, I'm almost finished. The data that are being processed are typical clinical data that you enter in a ECRF, or that you can export from your electronic health record. And neuroimaging data, but it's only regional brain volume. It's not the image themselves. The image are pre-processed by a pipeline in the data factory, and then you get a value for each of the 300 predefined brain regions. That's the only type of neuroimaging which is available at the moment. But of course, we can hope to have more, and especially EEG and intracranial EEG, and that's part of the project that was presented to you earlier by Milan. At the moment also, for the last 2 years, the first use case was only on dementia with some little work on Parkinson's disease. In the next 2 years, we will have data on deep brain stimulation on intracerebral EEG. There has been a strong partnership with the International TBI Initiative, so that will be part of the MIP definitely, and we're looking at all the time. We're looking at rare neurodegenerative disease and epilepsy because there's a plan to make a partnership with EpiCARE, but also with ERN R&D. And this is support, even though we are preliminary step, by the 3 DG that are concerned: DG Santé, DG Research, and DG Connect. So there has been that call that we released very recently, and that may be the only good input I will have, or I will have in the HBP, that I strongly militate for having that call, which means I cannot participate to it, and I'm not going to review it. That was just the order. But that's great, I think, because it offers an opportunity for the epilepsy community to be much more involved in the HBP. Finally, this is my last slide, just to tell you that, the HBP might look as something more dangerous than a true opportunity, because there has been so much political issue, dispute over the last 5 years, and nobody can deny it. Still, the EC has put so much money that they don't want to destroy it, and they definitely believe it should provide this infrastructure I mentioned in the beginning. So at the moment you can see that they start organizing brain research in Europe along this line by considering the different assets they have built through different programs. And that's what leads us to this call, which is ongoing, which is primarily been developed by the European Brain Council, with which we had advanced discussion with the Epilepsy Alliance Europe, and we will have more in April. And if you see the way it's labeled, it's clear that the ECC, the future project in brain research in Europe, is going through this canal, where this organization, under the leadership of the EBC, will include the joint program on neurodegenerative disease, for the neurodegenerative disease, the ERANET Neuron, the IMI, all that are planning agencies that will collaborate, and the Human Brain Project, who will bring the infrastructure. So not to replicate, for any new brain research project, the infrastructure for which you have put €500 million, basically. So being inside, I think, will offer a lot of opportunity, I hope, but definitely not being inside will be a major prejudice in the future.
Thank you.